and welcome to another episode of Schiffbauer Rocks. A little special edition, a little sequel for those out there.
Sequel.
We got Bobby G, and we're at the Propr HQ in an undisclosed location. So if you checked out our previous episode, you learned a lot about branding and giving a shit about it. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, and if you didn't catch it, go back and watch it, and you're going to learn something. But we're going to talk a lot about branding, marketing, strategy. Have some fun with it, you know?
Growing a business.
Growing anything.
Working less.
It's important.
Making more money.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
Homie. Yeah.
We got some famous grouse here. I haven't had that in a dog's age.
Yeah, I had a buddy that was Scottish, and he swore by it as the best Scotch, that blended Scotch. And there's only a few Scotches that I don't appreciate.
Yeah, I know.
This is good for.
This is a pretty good blend. Yeah. That's like my buddy Mike, the writer, that talking about all camera. He swears by Russian standard for vodka. He's like, it's better than Belvedere.
Russian standard.
Russian standard. We did a podcast recording way back. He bought it.
Because it comes in a plastic bottle.
It was glass.
Okay.
But had it on the rocks. I'm like, this is actually pretty good. I mean, I don't know if it's just a vibe.
I had a vodka client a couple years ago. We don't really mess with that, but it was a good opportunity. And
I think I know who we won't disclose.
Made in Delaware. Mm-hmm. Delaware made vodka with the American flag on the label. We didn't design the label. We're doing some marketing for it. But when it came out of the freezer, you poured it in a glass, it did not offend.
That's important with vodka. That's when you know it's decent, at least.
It's decent.
Mm-hmm.
It was made to be drank in its entire. That was how we positioned it. Like, this vodka is made to be open the bottle and finish the same day. Not by one person though. Like, make a punch, make a cocktail, make a lot of drinks with it because it was inexpensive and good.
Now, did they fulfill that purpose in terms of like their brand prompts? Do you think, or they were trying to get real fancy with it?
No, we were right with it. The only problem was that they didn't have anybody following up on the leads we created.
Ah, yeah, that's the worst.
The owner of the company, bless his heart, thought that we were going to create so much demand that people would be literally banging on the door demanding. We want it. I'm like, even with what's the one out of Texas with the copper lid?
Oh, it's
Tito's. Like, with a $1 billion company with hundreds of $1 million in marketing.
Yeah.
Can't have that. These guys are spending thousands of dollars with us, and they expected that.
You see it all the time. We talk about war stories. It's just sometimes like expectations, if they're not met, they're the enemy of progress with any kind of engagement with folks.
That's true. I mean, that and expecting overnight success.
Yeah.
Is really, I think, the common psychosis that people experience at, like...
I like the terminology psychosis.
They think, people are thinking, and if this doesn't apply to you, good. But if it does...
Let's listen.
Just slow down. Like, nothing happens overnight.
No.
Nothing. Like, you don't go out of business overnight. You don't make $1 million overnight.
No.
You know? There's no... Here's one thing. Write this down, friends. There's no emergencies in marketing, no matter what you think.
You actually have a brilliant point when it comes to that.
There's none.
But it's so funny from a perception standpoint when you get like, what's going on? When like something just kicks off. It's like, hey,
we need this right now.
This was the plan.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, why? Because I want it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not an emergency. Like, you want it? That's not an emergency. Like, if you have a strategy and plan, then you're going to make progress. But if you're throwing shit at the wall all day, you probably feel a sense of urgency because that shit ain't working. So it's like, okay, what would you rather have? Throw a bunch of money at things, hoping they work, fingers crossed, hope ain't a strategy, or take some time, put together a plan, make progress.
I use that hope line all the time. That bar.
It's not ours, right? Someone said that. But we're allowed to use it.
Yeah, I don't think it's trademark.
No.
I know some gentleman who uses it, but we're not. Yeah, we're not going to give him credit. We're pilfering that one.
Yeah, I mean, like that. Somebody said to me today, like, all of our ideas are probably come from 5 people around us.
It's just inspiration, and I feel like it's more subconscious sometimes, Bob, where it's like, we got a great
Sure.
idea. Wait, didn't this company do it over here?
Right. I saw this thing. I was talking to a buddy of mine, super smart guy, great dude, this week, and we agree on the same thing. And I don't know if you know the educator and philosopher John Dewey. Getting a little bit nerdy here.
Oh, we're getting nerdy.
But he said a lot of our education system is based on him, not this stuff that trains us to be factory workers for factory jobs that don't exist, but more of like you have to feed it, the mind that is, to get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like researching and exploring and talking and discovering and doing some of those frameworks and processes to do that gives you the ability to pull out ideas. You can't just say like come up with an idea and to sit here and hope really hard. You end up like crapping your pants before you come up with an idea. But if you look at other things, you look on Pinterest, you read books, lots of books around, you listen to music, you go for a walk, you're going to find inspiration out there. But you're not finding inspiration. You're planning something in your head that's going to allow you to be inspired.
It's really funny that you say that in a great way. Where I'm going with this, it's as us, we're typically hired as experts or viewed as experts in our fields when someone chooses to partner with us.
Sure.
Or we choose to partner with them. And it's like,
Yes.
It's almost like that patience thing when they're like, where's the idea? I really tell folks 9 times out of 10 when I start an engagement with them, that's more than a project where, yes, we have this experience and yes, we're partnering together, but we're going to learn along the way together.
Yeah.
We're going to learn more about your business and what works, what doesn't.
And your customers, right?
What's
the market,
out there in the
how people are
marketplace.
buying. Yeah, all that stuff was like, people forget that the best part about any adventure is the journey, not the destination. And we sometimes fool ourselves to think that we'll feel better, we'll be happier once we reach that destination.
Yeah, get to the finish line.
Happiness is just around the corner. No, happiness is right now.
Yeah, because, I'm quoting Mad Men, but it's relevant. It's this, what's the point of happiness if you're looking for more happiness? I did this. I need to be happy another way. Enjoy
That's
it.
why, speaking of choosing to work with people, my most baseline qualifiers is what do you value more, time or money? And people who value their time, the most precious commodity, more than money, are the ones I want to work with. That's so that we can progress on our conversation. But if they value money more than anything, it's just substitute happiness for money. Mm-hmm. What's the point of money if you feel like you need more and more? Like, where does it end? It doesn't end. It just becomes worse and more toxic and more miserable.
You raised a great point in terms of having shared core values with people you partner up with in our first podcast together. I can't phrase it the way you did because it was very worded eloquently.
Well, that's my game, man.
Yeah. It was good, though. It's just like, at some point, it was like, there's some kind of, like, breakdown if those core values aren't there together. Where there's some kind of, like, shared alignment or
I've
view.
gotten it even more concise. So, like, we're involved in some aspect of capitalism, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to provide a product or service experience. We're helping our clients provide those things to their customers. And the way people have always bought, despite all the tools and technology that have come out, created by us, humans, that's made someone else money, by the way, and they've told us and marketed that we need that to be happy or successful. So check your sources on that. But it's really just, where's the opportunity for relationship? And, one-off customers are fine. But what's your most valuable customer and why? So to figure out why that's important is you simply think about your best customer. Your best customer is like a good friend. They're evangelizing. They're advocating. They're recommending. They're gifting. They're repeat buying. So if it costs you, say, $1,000 to acquire one customer, wouldn't you want that customer to be what I like to call the lightning rod customer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want it to
The
be
cheerleader, the
So,
evangelist.
like, yeah, you need customers flat, right? More customers equals more market share equals more popularity. Popularity measured in market share, you're more successful. That's how you differentiate and scale and grow a brand. That's part of it. But if you can identify that lightning rod customer and say on average, every 10 customer acquisitions, depending on your type of business, like I only need, 20 customers a year max. So like, 10 customers, one of them is a lightning rod every 10. That customer can potentially be 5-10x their value.
Correct.
Right? So like I'm a consultant, I charge by the month. Some customers I charge $500, some I charge $10,000. That's not based on anything other than my decision
Yeah.
and what they can pay. So the value transfer between us, me, and them is pretty simple. If they can only afford 500, it's my choice if they work with me or not. But most of those ones are lightning rods.
Really, in your case,
In my case, they're like,
I've had it.
you need Bobby. Oh, your messaging sucks. Your positioning sucks. Your brand sucks.
You need to work with
You
him.
have
He's
no
great.
strategy and plan. Like your customer acquisition, you don't even know how to talk to your customer. You have no customer journey. You have no thought leadership. Like, what are you doing? You need Bobby. Talk to Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's a conversation. That's all I want. That's one metric. I every quarter, I'm like, I want at least 20 conversations a month.
And with that, Bob, those kind of customers are almost priceless in terms of what they're worth long term.
Yeah, because one, $500, fine. That's not.
It's not going to change
That's
your
not
world.
free.
Really, anyone's world.
But it's not bad. Like 4 hours of work for $500, or
Yeah.
maybe 5 hours, right? 5 calls.
But it's high impact enough. The work
I'm-
and then the relationship for them.
I'm helping him.
For them to like shout your name to the heavens.
And I want to help, right?
Yeah,
So like
that's how I am.
Some clients are paying me $510 a month, but I'm helping them. Some are paying me $500. I don't care about that. That doesn't dictate my success. My success is measured in I choose who I work with. So choosing who I work with, like, okay, what do you give a shit about? What do I give a shit
Yeah.
about? Where those circles overlap is the opportunity for a relationship. Opportunity for you to make a promise to them and uphold that promise. That's your reputation on the line there. So as soon as that promise is broken, all the potential value from that customer,
It's shattered.
right? That value from that customer is not $500 a month.
It's shattered.
It's them, me helping me hone my craft, but other introductions, goodwill, evangelization, recommendations, referrals, testimonials, all these other things that help me long game. Short game, you're like, oh, it's only $500. Like, no, long game, right? So if I break that promise, if I don't deliver, there's no
Essentially
long
becomes the question, and this is, I think, key for all service providers out there. How can this relationship make us both better? For them, where they're getting
That's symbiotic, man.
end back, and then-
it always has to be that.
and then vice
Mutually
versa.
beneficial, even exchange of resources.
Where the money to me is a secondary byproduct of that when we're viewing it at that level. And just to kind of tie that end up, I say, and people look at me funny, but like all clients are not created equal in that regard when you have those evangelists. Uphold your
No.
promises and expectations, but like you said, you're going to have people who are going to shout you the heavens, and you're going to have other people where they're just going to pay the bills and cool, that's it.
That's fine, right?
That's awesome. That's what it is.
There's also the multiplier effect. So you want to recognize the multiplier effect. The multiplier effect comes into play with you more than fulfilling your promise, upholding your end of the bargain. They're not going to remember exactly what the experience was, but they're going to remember how it made them feel.
Yeah.
So think about that. If it made you feel like shit, and people are like, yo, I need a marketing company, and somebody who's not your marketing company dogged them for money, delivered nothing, bunch of bullshit, they're going to be like, fuck them.
Don't even talk to
They
them.
suck.
Yeah.
right? And that other person's going to hear that. And they don't have any first-hand experience.
No, the trust
But if it comes
automatically
up,
goes down.
Again,
while they're considering.
No, those guys suck. No, those guys suck. No, those guys suck. On the flip side, you made them feel good. You delivered more than delivered on your promise, or just deliver on your promise, right? That's
Sometimes that is enough.
That's baseline.
Sometimes that's enough.
You don't have to over deliver, right? Even exchange of resources, symbiotic. But if you make them feel good,
It's priceless.
they're going to talk about that in a positive way. And word of mouth is the freest and bestest of marketing. Costs you nothing except for following through on that promise you made to people you're trying to earn their trust to hire you.
Marty, what happened Tuesday with the one client testimonial we shot? What he said more than anything in terms about the experience. We're going off camera, folks. But this is good because it ties in exactly what you're saying. All the things Jarrett was saying about the relationship with us. It wasn't really even numbers. He was talking about how we made him feel.
Yeah.
It was all
Gratitude.
This changed. He mentioned gratitude. To me, it was very empowering.
Gratitude is not leveraged enough.
It was very humbling and rewarding to hear that. I didn't expect that. He was willing to do a video testimony for us,
from a
but
client.
It was awesome.
I got an email from a client last month, unprovoked. It was just like, dude, I love your hands-on approach. I'm so pumped by your energy and what you bring here. I can't wait. I'm so like whatever about the future. And I'm like, thanks, homie. Like, damn.
Yeah.
And then I got a text message from a client. Like, we worked on this special project with them. They've been, the great relationship over years. Only brings me in like here and there when they have something really complicated they can't figure out.
Mm-hmm.
The board of directors, or the director of the board, the head of the board, whatever you call it, like we did this thing to help empower the board to go ask for money to their rich friends. And she's like, I was like, show them the PDF, like show it to the. She's like, he is like thrilled. I'm like, word. And then they showed it to the board meeting. Oh my God. Yes, it's great.
Yeah.
And then they got it's a printed thing, and they got it delivered yesterday. And I texted the CEO, and I was like, one, did anything come? Two, would you be a reference for another client? She's like, duh. And like, no, she's like, I guess that's why they told me there's a package for me. And I'm like, oh, look, and send me a picture.
Yeah.
And she sent me a note with the picture. It was like, they're better than we could imagine. And I'm like, gratitude. And they hired me not because I could do the work. They know I can do the work, but they know that I'm going to help them figure this shit out because they don't think like me, and that's good.
Yeah.
Because they're running a big-ass nonprofit. And I help them with the strategic thinking and aligning that up with business goals. Nonprofits have business goals too.
They're businesses.
They're businesses. And I came up, I was like, let's call this little brochure thing the business of play.
I love that.
And
okay.
And that's what they said too.
What? I don't even know the whole context of that, but that's great.
Like, we have this thing. It's really important to us. We don't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay. Let's figure it out.
Let's do it.
Let's figure it out.
Let's meet for 2 hours next week. What day is good for you? We'll sit down, we'll workshop, we'll put together the whole plan. And we did. And we crushed it. So, like, that's following through on the promise. They know what to expect from me.
Yeah.
So, like, hey, lightning rod customer, will you be a referral or a reference to these guys?
And usually 9 times out of 10, it's
and
a
then
yes.
I did it. She's like, of course. And I did the email intro with this other CEO. And my CEO client here said, it will be my pleasure to brag about Bobby. So, these things, right? Anybody who has a business, who values their time more than money, will make seeking these realities a priority.
Yeah. where they can change
Well,
and transform.
It's because, and here's kind of what we talked about for today is that your purpose, being real clear about your purpose,
It's everything.
helps you develop everything your business needs to be successful.
And it sounds funny when you say it, Bob, but it's 100% true because it's like, oh, why does this technical area of my company need to relate back to my purpose? It should. If not, it's out of whack.
Why do we want to work with them? Why are we hiring this person? Why are we leasing this office space? Why are we investing in that?
Is it related to our purpose and why we're here right now and doing what we're doing?
What are our systems and processes? What's our ops? What's our recruiting? All these things. Are you going to hire people and make decisions around what's best for your company, aligning with your purpose, or are you going to make them based on something else? And if it is something else, what is it? Ego, whim, greed, selfishness,
I think
stubbornness.
one of the most profound things I've learned since we last chopped it up is I did a little coaching of my own over the summer, and this gentleman told me entrepreneurship is not a place to get your emotional needs met. But I feel like so many business owners, they'll deviate from the business's purpose because of that ego at times.
Say that again.
Entrepreneurship is not a place to get your emotional needs met. Personally.
Let me think about that.
Yeah, now we can chop it up.
I mean, entrepreneurship what is entrepreneurship? So for me, it's you see a better way to do something.
Yeah.
And you're motivated to take action. And I've owned my business for 10 years, 11 months to the day.
We'll have one more month when this drops.
So when this drops, it'll be 10 years.
That's amazing.
I've never done anything this long, except for be married.
Shatter your wife.
That's not work. This isn't work either, really.
That's the beauty, I think, of entrepreneurship, though, in its own way. Where I say that line, but the emotional angle where I was coming from on that, it's like when sometimes we make decisions where are you deviating from your purpose when you're making this?
Well, it's easy to figure out if it's the wrong decision or not. Mm-hmm. You feel it, and you sleep wrong. Like your sleep sucks, right? So you're going to make short-term decisions. Yes, you need to make short-term decisions. I need to make decisions every day. That's optimizing the present to achieve the future. You don't have to have a crystal clear vision of where you're going. And Jim Collins' Good to Great, excellent book, was reflecting on a chapter called Who, Not What. And despite what Simon Sinek's popularized, it's not why necessarily. It's purpose, and which is bigger than why. But I get his notion, and he didn't come up with it either. He just made it popular. But I'm losing my point here. The point.
It's okay. Let's shift out of our rocks.
I'll let the scotch do the thing.
It's the grouse. I don't even know what a grouse even is. Is it a bird? Is it native to Scotland?
Dude,
I don't know.
Obviously, you don't know the famous one.
The famous
There's grouses up in like Montana and North Dakota. They run around on the high prairies that they have these crazy feathers.
I believe you. Marty, you might have to drop an image or two.
I mean, it kind of looks like this. I feel like it's the female.
I would
Male
say
is more
probably more like
flamboyant.
puffery. Yeah.
Yeah. Male birds like to be
We're talking about
sexier.
purpose, and I threw that nugget at you about entrepreneurship not necessarily being a place for your emotional needs to be met.
So, so you have an idea, you're motivated to do it, and here's the point I was trying to make first, was that to be a successful entrepreneur, the first success is that you took the step to try.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if you made a buck or not. Doesn't matter anything.
That's the spirit of entrepreneurship we've all been taught and
You tried.
preached.
Whether it's unsuccessful or not doesn't make you a failure. How you play that game
You went up the bat.
determines whether you're a failure or not.
Correct.
So, like, you can be successful without ever making any money. And, like, the fear a lot of people have is, like, what if it doesn't work out? Who gives a shit? Like, you can always go get a job. But then you try to be an entrepreneur. You were an entrepreneur for a minute, and now you're more valuable because you have this very unique
perspective.
experience. So, like, there's no lose there, in my opinion. But, like, tying it back to your emotional needs met. Your business, people love to say it's nothing personal, it's just business. And that's boomer talk. It is personal.
It is personal.
You're dealing with humans.
Yes.
You're dealing with
Unless
the
you're
environment.
a complete
You're
psychopath.
dealing with, like, communities and the world. So, like, you fucking wreck shit that's impacting people by your decisions. It is personal. So stop that. Let's just stop doing that.
I think
let's call that out
that
more.
That is fading out, thank God.
Yeah. It's not it happened to me a couple years ago. Clients like, we had this contract and we're killing it with them. We love the work. We just hate paying you. That's basically what they were saying.
Which is the most backhanded compliment ever.
It's so dumb. And then
they want to
owner
replace
of the company
you.
couldn't even
Because it's
couldn't even talk to me.
It's a financial thing.
He
at that
sent
point.
his brother-in-law, who was the CEO, who we placed there and then fired later. But he said, "Oh, Bobby, it's nothing personal. It's just business." And I was like, "Let me stop you right there." I was like, "I don't take it personally, but this is between us. We have a relationship here, and it is personal.
Yeah.
So don't say that to me."
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't ready for that. He was just like, it wasn't to blow up a spot or anything. It was just to be like, let's recognize the situation.
Here's some perspective.
In reality.
Correct.
Right? So, like, all right, your emotional needs met. No, this isn't going to, it's going to bring fulfillment to your life. But here's the one thing that we have to focus on as entrepreneurs and employees and everybody. Is this providing me the life that I want?
Yeah, crave, desire.
And it's not need, it's want, right? Because if you feel like you need it, there's an air of desperation and you'll never get it. But if you feel like you want it, you can work towards it. Mm-hmm. So, like, what's the life I want? And then take it to develop that, you have to define how you know you're being successful. So for me, it comes back to, like, what I've said a million times. I choose who I work with. I choose what they pay me. I'm okay with that.
That fulfills you.
Yeah. I deal with no assholes, no bullshit. No one tells me what to do. I can wake up every day and decide if I work or not. That doesn't mean, like, I diss my clients. A couple weeks ago, my son was sick, and my wife called me and was like, he's got to go get checked for strep. And I was like, and our other kid had COVID. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll head home. And
you had the liberty to do that based on the lifestyle you designed.
I felt nothing. I felt no, like...
You weren't letting someone down.
I felt nothing. I was like, yo, I gotta cancel. Let me know what's good for you. Same time next week or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I have this criteria. None of it has to do with how much money is in my bank account. None of it has to do with how much revenue I'm making per year. Like, that's important, but that's not the thing, the metric. My life, my free time, being more fulfilled than frustrated. So, like, yeah, the business, that's a silly thing now that I keep thinking about and breaking it apart.
No, it's fine. This is a great conversation.
Is that you can't separate your life from your business because it's part of our life. It's probably the majority of our time is spent working on our business.
It is. If you're a true entrepreneur in the sense.
Yeah. It doesn't mean I'm working 60 hours a week because fuck no, I am not.
I tell people entrepreneurs are almost like artists in a way.
It's bohemian, man.
You're
It
providing
should be bohemian.
a product and a service, and you're designing those products and services
Yeah.
that people see value in, and they can
There's an
extrapolate value
appreciation.
from that.
Yep. I mean, it's an equal exchange of value, right? It's symbiotic. Nature shows us the way.
It sounds wild, but it's really what entrepreneurs are, Bob. They're designing
should
a new way.
We put on pedestals the ones seeking the unicorn, the $1 billion business.
It doesn't have to be that.
But no one asks why that business needs to exist. No one asks why it needs to make $1 billion. No one asks why do they need to destroy the world and other people and lives to make that money.
Mm-hmm.
They just say, oh, here's the next unicorn business. Great. And it's just like, what? But what's the point?
What's the purpose?
No purpose. To make a buck. They value money more than time and anything else.
I want to extrapolate another boomer notion.
Okay.
So the old saying, it's always who you know in networking, which I think has some relevance, but I think more importantly, it's not just who you know, it's who you are at the end of the day. In terms of when you might know someone or get that referral or walk into a room.
It's who you know, not always who you know, but it's you know, there's so many variations on the notion of like, you know, who's in your village, who do you hang out with? That's who you are. And this came up with my coach today. And it's like, I roll with you. I don't roll with some of the people you roll with.
But I roll with
choice.
you. Yeah.
But we roll together. So like it's also your reputation.
Yes.
What do people think of
Hence who you are.
How do you make people feel? So you could know everybody.
But you
could be Elon Musk that you know, all these people fucking know and everyone thinks he's a turd. If you don't think he's a turd, get your head straight. But like
he's a pretty big turd.
Fucking
I've never really been a fan of him.
Never, always felt weird about him, but
he's a government contractor. That's why he's on the pedestal.
Now he's
without getting down
piece of shit.
The InfoWars angle.
I don't even know that angle, but like
yes. Disclaimer.
But you know, it's like how are you rolling?
Correct.
How are you presenting yourself? What's your purpose? What's your values? How are you connecting with
How do you
people?
resonate with certain people?
Do you act with integrity? So like, you know, back to like referrals, right? If you're getting good referrals and good recommendations and good testimonials and you're having those lightning rod customers, like that's a good sign. That means you're doing something that's really good.
There's something on...
But if you're not getting any of those, check yourself.
Especially if you've been in the game for a little bit.
Yeah, because
whatever
like,
your game
you know
may
what?
be.
There's a reason.
Look in the mirror.
So like if your purpose is clear and you uphold it, then like what's triggering in people's minds to think of you, right? Because those evangelizing and recommending and referring and whatnot for you and your business, like what's that trigger in their mind? So that honing that distinctiveness in as to like what point of view do you have along with your purpose? So it's like, oh, you know, I need a gutter guy. Well, I had a great experience with these guys.
Yeah, Jim on the block there. You know?
Or I need someone who does home service digital marketing.
Mm-hmm.
One of my clients, I was like, I got a guy. He's my homie. Here's the introduction. And it's just like, that's easy because there's a trigger. There was nothing else that came up in conversation that made me think of you.
Yeah.
Right? Until he said, digital marketing home services. That's because you're positioned right. And I know your purpose. And I know how you're a high integrity guy. And you're no bullshit. All these reasons make it easy to say Paulie versus all the other motherfuckers I know that do the same damn thing. Right? We all can have this. We all should seek it. We all should make it a imperative point to earn this type of situation and reputation and clear purpose and promise and trust within a relationship. Because, I mean, be honest, people need to trust you to buy from you.
Oh, 100%. I don't care who you are or what you do.
Nope.
There always is trust.
Especially B2B. So
It's trust, the building the rapport, and it's the trust what you hear from the reputation.
so there's
From
50,000 people that do the same thing that we do.
Yeah, if not more.
So how do we get that trust? First, it's who do we hang with?
Who do we become the guy in our own retrospective tribes?
Who are we hanging out with that our customer knows?
Mm-hmm.
Brands, people, whatever, right? There's an affiliation there, an association. So like, oh, people that don't know you, my client, I was like, Paul's the man. He trusts you,
Yeah.
right? And you could do that at scale by affiliation, association, partnerships, referral networks. It's doable, but like that should be. How do we get that trust? But you got to turn it into something else. Why are we different than everybody else? So the trust is there. Like that could be the easy way in. I just need a guy. I need a plumber. You got a plumber? Yeah. This guy's good.
This
Here's
guy's
his
good
number.
for this reason.
Tell him I sent you, right?
Yeah.
But like if it's something, a bigger ticket where there's more at risk, like your job, right? Like we hire this vendor and if they shit the bed, I'm getting fired, right? So it's like, well, how do you turn your purpose into a strategy? Well, your purpose is going to help you determine your point of view because you realize you're trying to help them, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to help somebody. Like it's usually purpose is like we're trying to do this to accomplish this for these people. And these are our values, this is our mission, this is our tone of voice, this is our customer. So then we can use that information to develop your purpose. Your purpose helps you develop your business strategy. Your business strategy helps you turn your culture and operations into something optimized for what you're trying to win at. But then you got to develop some sort of point of view that defines why you do it the way you do it. So that's more of a operational differentiator.
Mm-hmm.
Your operational differentiator is like we use the best tools, we had the best people, we've been doing it the longest. No one gives a fuck.
That's what I hear all the time, Bob.
And that's the low hanging fruit. That's the operations differentiator, right? We have Snap-on tools.
It's almost the operational handicap, in a way.
But it is important. But how did you come to the conclusion
Bingo.
that these
is
people,
important.
These frameworks,
Is what people
this
want.
technology is right?
Correct.
So you gotta say like, oh well, I've seen over the past 25 years that people's marketing suffers because they're obsessed with tactics, tools, and technology, not the strategy that determines what the right tactics, tools, and technology are to earn our reputation to our target audience, where we can create that opportunity for a relationship based on what we give a shit about and what they give a shit about. Wait, what's all that? That's all that where I say that to somebody and they hire me on the spot. Because I'm not saying like, we have the best people, we have the best technology. Like, you know, I have a MacBook.
It's
like,
a boilerplate. It's a boilerplate.
I mean, that's like, of course you do. We clean our kitchen after every night. It's like, I hope you do.
I see it all the time. I challenge a lot of my home service guys where they're like, I'm telling them, like, what makes you unique from a value prop standpoint? Now, explain to them if they don't know what value prop is. And they usually, it's the operational thing. That's why I said it's almost a handicap. Oh, we got this expertise and we just got technology and we're
just
licensed.
Ask them, why do you think that that's best?
I have. And breaking it down, like, well, we're a moving company and we wrap everything up and we roll out the red carpet because we care. That ties back into our mission. I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere.
But why is that important to wrap it up?
Correct.
Because
it's
we've
further
reduced
extrapolating it.
Damage. We reduce like
bingo
insurance claims. We make it easier. It's just worth like
it makes
back to our purpose.
We
right?
know it makes our customers more comfortable. Things like that. I'm like, all right, now we're getting somewhere.
If you could say, if you're watching this, you're like, how do I apply this to my business? Just say, in my experience, blah, 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 this is why we do this. Is fill in the blank. That's it. Hard, easier said than done.
Yeah, no, it seems simple, but it's not.
But just marinate that. Like when you're walking the dog, thinking about it. When you're in the shower, thinking about it. Like smoke a bowl and think about it. Like
Whatever you do
talk
to think.
about it with your friends when you're driving. Like turn on some like stoner metal and let the drone in the background.
I've had some of my best thoughts after a couple glasses of famous
Have a
grouse.
couple glasses. Have a wee nip of courage and loosen up the gray matter.
I know Marty's singing for last call. I want to give you the last word.
Oh wow, we went. Damn, dude. We could talk.
This could be a 6-hour podcast. But that's why I've got to break it up for people.
We'd be smashed.
Oh yeah, we would have to chill out at some point, a little halftime.
The bottle be fucking. I mean, it's hurting already.
But I gotta ask. This is totally off topic. If you go into any bar, if they got a jukebox, what 3 songs are you playing, or you hope they have?
Any bar?
Any bar. You just walk into like your ideal diver bar.
All right, so let's set the scene here.
I'm gonna get a little fun with
They
it.
got a digital John, so
Yeah,
like,
digital John now.
all right, so it's not like
It's
old,
a touch tunes.
All right, so
So the world's your oyster here.
there's probably no TV. It's a drinking bar.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's dark.
Oh yeah.
There's no.
There's
All light is muted. It's probably red or orange.
the patrons and workers have some scars probably.
You got everybody there. You got ballerinas, homeless people, lawyers,
Drug dealers,
day traders,
you name
drug
it.
dealers, college kids, and me. What am I playing?
3 songs you're queuing up to set your vibe and the vibe for the bar.
Okay, it's nighttime, evening. So we've been drinking for a few hours. It's about 8:30. Kitchen's closed.
Yeah, no more mozzarella sticks or chopped cheeses.
I'm playing. Man, whatever I play first is going to lead to what's next.
It's a build up.
Okay, I'm playing. Starting with, Guns N' Roses. What's that song where Slash does all the freaking solos?
It's not November Rain.
No.
That's a little too
It's like
heavy.
Use Your Illusion, the blue one.
Which is the first one, I'm pretty sure.
It's...
Not Civil War.
No.
That would be crazy to play in a dive bar.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. All right, so that Guns N' Roses song... Fuck me.
So we got Guns N' Roses. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, my body's going to kill me for not remembering this. Okay, the Guns N' Roses song, followed by Tom Waits.
Oh, I like this already.
I would say Old 55 by Tom Waits. And then we would go into... Let's round it off with, can I have a fourth?
You can have a fourth. I'll give you a fourth.
So let's go with Iggy Pop.
Oh, I love me some Iggy Pop.
From the Idiot. I don't know the name of the song. We're gonna have to post these songs.
Oh no, we're gonna do some archival post. Marty's just gonna insert them in.
So Iggy Pop.
I know if I wanted to be
The droning one.
Okay, now it's on the tip of my tongue too.
It's on side B. It might be the last song. And the last song, I would say, the last 3 songs because they kind of play into each other on Abbey Road by the Beatles.
Ooh, okay.
And I would say end with that, and I go home at the end because I'm gonna play these later tonight. I have all these on vinyl too.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's Guns N' Roses song too. My
Oh
time.
no, we're gonna think about it once we wrap.
I believe I don't believe I imagine the best song to those last three Beatles song on side B, Abbey Road, would be the perfect songs to play at the end of the world.
Really?
Just end the end of the world, and everybody would be at peace.
Mine will throw in some Leonard Cohen while you're at it. Then for the
I
epilogue.
considered Leonard Cohen. And then I was like,
Baby,
late Leonard Cohen.
give a miracle.
Yeah.
If I wanted to be a Touch Tunes terrorist, that's a phrase I coined. If I want to like fuck the vibe up, like I would play Iggy Pop tonight because that would just get people like, what is going on right now?
Yeah. I mean, Stooges are great. Iggy Pop with David Bowie in Germany making that. When they both. And that the Hamburg stuff with Bowie and Iggy, the stuff they were making in the mid '70s there, like that shit's just unbelievably good.
If I'm going three, similar scenario, I'll play Eric Borton War, Spill the Wine.
Okay.
As that like soft like build up.
Yeah.
A little Caribbean Queen, Billy Ocean, just to switch the vibe up afterwards.
Oh, that was my jam back in the day.
And then I would end with some Bowie.
Queen.
I would do Fame.
Fame, okay.
But then if
Heroes, man, do some Heroes.
Oh, I like Heroes.
Oh, that's.
If I'm going to walk out, I'll do a double, 3 and 4 Bowie. I'll play Fame, Heroes, or just Space Odyssey. I'm walking the fuck out of the bar. And I might have to pick up my tab the next day.
I would have I would have.
Spaceman's going home.
I would have, as I walked out, after I walked out, and everybody is just in that freaking, like, dark 70s, like.
Vibe at that point.
Like, grunged out, strung out mood. I would have, like, Rock Lobster, like, Planet Claire come on after I was gone and just fucking wreck everybody.
I've done Sandstorm a couple times.
Yeah.
I've actually played Sandstorm, like, sitting at my house in bed. Wait, let's mess with... Sean's working at White Rose tonight. I'm playing Sandstorm by Darude right now.
So,
just to fuck
this
with
is
them.
funny. What's the... I lived in a row home in Philly, and we used to party there a lot. And... You know, the neighbors were fine, but they were kind of dicks. I mean, they should have been, because we were...
I'm about to say, yeah. Symbiotic.
But I always felt like, what song would you leave on repeat?
Oh, I
Turn
got
it
one.
up
I got one.
and drive people nuts. What's that one song?
I got one. You go.
You first.
You're Loved by the Outfield. It's good once, but imagine it like 12 fucking times in a row.
Imagine this. My Sharona.
I think
You would go insane.
any 80s song that fits either that
over
era
and over. Oh my
that
god.
fits that criteria right there.
I don't want to... I mean, that song's good. But
But-
was it Dexy's Midnight Rider or something?
Come on, Eileen.
Yeah, is that just Come On Eileen?
Yeah.
So My Sharona... I don't know who does...
I've never...
The Knack? Maybe it's the Knack.
On a sidebar, and we'll wrap it up. Come on, Eileen. I've never met an attractive woman named Eileen.
The first girl I kissed,
Was Eileen?
not a makeout kiss, just like she
Like a
liked
friendly
me,
kiss.
and I almost got stabbed because like 7th grade, this dude wanted to stab me. He was my buddy, but like he was nuts. Her name was Eileen Moorhead, and I never like hooked up with her for real. That was the only Eileen I ever knew. Except for one other Eileen. No, that's the only Eileen I ever knew.
It's a very obscure name at this point, I feel like. Or at least in the States, because I'm pretty sure they were like foreign based, like UK or like Ireland.
Yeah, they were UK. Yeah. I don't know any Eileens.
On that note, Bob, it's been a pleasure. Marty single for last
This
call.
this goes out to all the Eileens out there.
We do love
we
you.
We see you.
We do love you. You're noticeable. Shout out to Sinead O'Connor because I feel like that's the same vibe.
Shout out to Sinead. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Fuck the Pope.
I was listening to some of her songs last night. Ain't gonna front. Brilliant. Last word. We talked a lot about purpose today.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. People not just need to look at in the mirror, but constantly come back to and revisit in terms of who they are, and then from a business context, what it is and where they want to be or who they want to be.
I mean, it's pretty simple, and it doesn't like Harvard Business Review. Like lots of smarter people than me push business owners towards this, entrepreneurs towards this. It helps you develop your whole business strategy.
Purpose.
What's your purpose? Right? Don't overcomplicate it. Don't bullshit it.
It's simple, but it's so significant. But I feel like it gets left in the dust by majority of operators out there.
Yeah.
I think if we all take some time to chill out and look inward, we're just better business owners, business people,
humans.
I was going to touch on, and we just help more people at the end of the day.
Co-occupants of this planet.
Yes.
Yeah, it can all align. It's
Joy to
true.
the world, Bobby G. It's been an
Thanks,
absolute
brother.
pleasure.
Yeah, always.
We'll probably do another one of these, folks. Take care.